Jim Ryan and the executives in Sony's PlayStation department are out of their mother-glipping mind. In my opinion, Microsoft is being incredibly generous with this entire acquisition of Activision Blizzard thus far. At first, Jim Ryan called the proposed 3 years of Call of Duty guaranteed on the PlayStation platform a slap to the face of PlayStation fans. But now Philly Phil and the boys in Lime Green World have more than tripled that offer to 10 years of guaranteed Call of Duty support on PlayStation consoles. But yet Sony, and even Google, behind the scenes are still causing a big stink over this major acquisition, the largest acquisition of a video game studio ever, by a large margin. And prior to this, the largest acquisition was again from Microsoft. That being the acquisition of ZeniMax Media, all of its subsidiary studios, including Bethesda, all of its IPs being Fallout, Skyrim, Starfield when that comes out, although that's looking pretty rough. But now this acquisition being $68.7 billion with a B dollars has raised a lot of eyebrows and a lot of investigations, specifically from UK regulators. However, thus far, Microsoft has handled all those swimmingly and is on track to acquire Activision Blizzard and all of its video game IPs, that being Candy Crush, the largest grossing mobile game, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and of course, Call of Duty. Oh boy. To get everyone all caught up on the current status of this acquisition, thus far Microsoft has met all inquiries, all requests from regulators, and everything is on track. Everyone knew this was going to be a slow and lengthy process, as this is the biggest acquisition of a video game studio ever. We're talking about almost $70 billion. And moreover than that, it's with the Call of Duty franchise, which by a large margin has been the biggest first-person shooter franchise for the last 10 consecutive years. And because of that, the Xbox's direct competitor being the Sony PlayStation, Nintendo Switch is not really a direct competitor in the Call of Duty segment when it comes to console play because it is savagely underpowered processor-wise, and there's not a big competitive shooter scene on Switch. Just wanted to give a little context as to why Nintendo's not really speaking up about the acquisition as much as Sony. By the way, all these sick graphic tees that I wear pretty much exclusively in my videos when I'm not wearing my own Gamer Heaven merch are Into the AM, which literally has the coolest looking graphic tees I've ever seen. I constantly get compliments and questions. Hey, where'd you get that shirt? I'm letting all of you know now. Into the AM. There's an exclusive discount code in the description below. I don't share that information as often as I should. So obviously Sony is concerned, but I would say unjustly so, because Phil Spencer, who is the head of Xbox, like he is the spokesperson, he's pretty much the head and neck of Xbox. He has a lot of control over what happens with Xbox. Phil Spencer has made direct comments to the public, going on record saying that he has no plans of removing the Call of Duty franchise from PlayStation or Nintendo or mobile or any of the other platforms ever, but they do obviously want to get their money back for an almost $70 billion acquisition. So what's going to happen almost indefinitely, in my opinion, is Call of Duty is automatically going to be on Game Pass, launchable, playable day one with your Game Pass subscription, the full game. So the multiplayer, the story, if there's any zombie or spec ops mode, all that good stuff. However, multiplayer, whether that's BR or traditional 5v5, team deathmatch, whatnot, will be a free-to-play model on all other platforms, PlayStation, PC, etc. So the Call of Duty franchise can be monetized that way through all of the loot boxes and the in-game store and cosmetics and all that good stuff, but it most likely will launch day and date on Game Pass, just like we're now seeing all new Bethesda IPs like Starfield launching day and date, any new Doom games from like ID Software. So in my opinion, Microsoft is being incredibly generous, incredibly delicate by spending almost $70 billion and then saying, we don't plan on taking this franchise away from your gamers because we legit care about the gaming community and we don't want to strip a franchise that's been on your platform for decades, strip the bones clean off it. That would piss off a lot of gamers, obviously. I don't think that's ever going to happen to where you cannot play Call of Duty on PlayStation. That simply is not what is in the cards here. What is in the cards is a day and date launch on Game Pass, a free-to-play model for multiplayer on all the other platforms, but you'll have to pay $70 US to buy the PlayStation 5 version of Call of Duty. So considering Call of Duty has been on an annual launch cycle for years, in 7 years, you've just saved $490 on Call of Duty titles by going with an Xbox console versus a PlayStation console, you know, minus your Game Pass subscription, which is $15 a month for Ultimate. But another layer to this debacle that I don't even think Sony is considering, the majority of their fan base that are purchasing their consoles, specifically the PS3, 4, and 5, have been doing so because of their awesome first-party Sony Interactive Entertainment in-house exclusives, and because of their kick-ass accessories like the DualSense controller and the Pulse 3D headset that works with the Tempest audio engines. Because players will have to spend an extra $70 a year easier to purchase a disc or digital version of Call of Duty versus playing it on Game Pass day and date, that's not gonna make or break any sales for Sony, in my opinion. Maybe a few, but nothing really measurable or tangible. On top of that, players that strictly play Call of Duty every year and then maybe a handful of other titles on the side, that's not really who the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem appeals to, considering you have that massive library of hundreds of games, good games in my opinion, that you can access on your Xbox One series or Windows 10 or 11 PC interchangeably, which is awesome. You can save your progress there, pick it up over there. That's cool. So gamers that are picking a console specifically on the Call of Duty franchise, just that one game, I don't really think that that small niche or demographic of gamers that are picking an entire console based on where can I play Call of Duty, where can I play Call of Duty cheaper, is really going to veer sales numbers that drastically. I wanted to share this update on the Activision Blizzard acquisition from Microsoft, as it is currently still on schedule and still on track. It most likely is going to happen, but it's not really going to change much for PlayStation players. At least Phil Spencer is saying 10 years of them not really changing much of anything, but Sony is still saying, no, it's not enough. You're upsetting us. But Sony is still feeling like a cornered animal, and they're getting their talons out. They're getting defensive because they feel attacked by this acquisition, as it is huge. I mean, the Call of Duty franchise is massive, but I've already spoke about what capacity Microsoft intends to actually swing meat with their position of holding AB or Activision Blizzard, and it's not going to be as drastic as Sony is thinking. This is just one man's take, but I'd like to hear yours. Please drop it in the stable for the Stallions and Stallionettes. That is the comment section below, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. I've been uploading kind of sporadically here recently, but I generally like to upload daily. Peace. If you enjoyed the video, liking it helps it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well, which in turn helps me grow this little channel, which I do greatly appreciate. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, as well as honest gaming product reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. There are some hefty exclusive discount codes found only in the description of my videos and only for the audience here at Gamer Heaven. I have links to all my other platforms and socials in the description below. To get in touch with myself and the Stallions and Stallionettes of Gamer Heaven, join the community Discord, and check me out at twitch.tv, where I go live every other leap year on a blue moon if it falls into an odd calendar number, and my pH balance is on point. Just kidding, starting June I'm going to be live streaming a lot. Thanks for watching. This has been AK40 Kevin hosting Gamer Heaven, and I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily, all the time, 60% of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Peace.